Welcome back to ETBU Extra here on the ETBU Sportsnet. Hello, I'm Mike Meeker, the voice of the Tigers. Of course, this week, the fan vote, sponsored by Team Higher Purpose. Of course, that's Matney and Courtney Workman, graduates of 2002. ETBU fan vote this week, you were asked to vote on your favorite ETBU individual moment in 2015. And the three things that were up, or three performances that were up for you to vote was C.J. Johnson's 12 tackles and that win against Hardin-Simmons, which sealed at least a tie for the American Southwest Conference. And then also the second game of the season against Texas College when Tyler Bates scored 4 touchdowns and Kendall Robertson's 420 yards rushing in the Belhaven win on homecoming. And you were asked to vote for your favorite individual moment during the past 2015 football season. And the winner was Tyler Bates' 4-touchdown performance in the win against Texas College over in Tyler at Rose Stadium. He had 84% of the vote. All right, time now to talk ETBU cross country with Landon Price. And Landon, unfortunately, you have no more years to run, but we have enjoyed seeing all that you've done since you've been here a student from Mount Vernon, Texas. Talk about this season as your last, and has it sunk in yet that you're not running cross country for ETBU anymore?
Not necessarily. I was actually talking to somebody yesterday that had asked me how I felt about the season being over, and I don't really know. It doesn't feel like it's over yet, I guess. It will when I start I get to next semester and I don't go back to school and I'm not running on the team anymore. And so I think that's when it'll set in. But it's been a good season. We had new freshmen come in, and we built a team this year that made it to regionals, and so that's exciting. It was the best season that I got to be a part of, and it's been exciting being a part of the cross-country program as it grows here at ETBU.
How has being a part of the cross-country team helped you as a student, being a student here at ETBU?
Honestly, I would say the biggest thing is discipline-wise. Being disciplined to go out and run on our own sometimes, even during the off-season and during the summer when we have to do our own workouts and stuff like that. It makes us disciplined because we have to do it on our own. We don't have anybody with us. And so that transfers over into doing academics and studying and doing tests and stuff like that. And so I think the biggest thing that helps me from running to academics is just the discipline that running gives me.
Of course, this past weekend, you traveled to Virginia, the ETBU ladies, as well as the men's cross-country team, to run in the Southeast South Regional. It was held in Winchester, Virginia. Kind of talk about the trip and some of the things that you got to do besides compete in the regional meet.
The trip was great. It was the second time we've been up in that area for regionals. We went 2 years ago and got to see some of the same things again, but this time at night, so it's a little different perspective. The day before the meet, we got to go to George Washington's house, and so we got to explore that and walk over and go through some tours there. And then the day after the meet, we got to go to Thomas Jefferson Memorial, Abraham Lincoln, Martin Luther King, the Washington Monument. And so those were exciting. It's cool to be with the team and even to just kind of go to a place that we normally wouldn't get to go and see things that we don't get to see. And so all through just the cross-country program. And so it's like a family vacation because our whole team's a family. And so it's just a fun trip, fun time.
Now, you ran in the regionals before. Anything different this year, preparing yourself to run this year?
Preparing-wise, we tried to do a lot of hills because we were told that the course would be hilly. When we got there, we realized that the course was like mountains, and so it was a little different. But the day of the race, I think the Weather Channel was saying it was 38 degrees feeling outside. There were 20-mile-an-hour winds, and then the elevation was not what we're used to. But it was a good day. We had fun. We fought and we ran as hard as we could, so it was fun.
Well, as a runner, is it difficult to run in the heat, or is it more difficult to run in the cold like you experienced at regionals?
I don't know. I would probably say the cold. I would rather it be warm outside because I like to do things outside. But I think for running-wise, I think 50-degree weather is best. But when it gets colder than that, it's hard, but it's better than 100-degree weather. And so the weather was pretty good other than wind and hills. But, you know, it is what it is when it's running.
Well, I want to ask you some advice. If I'm a high school senior and I want to come to ETBU and run cross-country, what are some things I can do to prepare myself to compete at the collegiate level?
Become self-disciplined by yourself. Do your workouts on your own. Not necessarily saying, like, don't have a coach and stuff, but when they give you workouts and give you the things that you're supposed to do, you have to do those. And it's not resting on someone else to go out there and do it with you, or you have a training partner, because sometimes you don't. And so just being disciplined to do it yourself.
Been with Landon Price, a senior member of well, he's actually a graduate student member of the ETBU cross country team. Landon, kind of explain to me, tell me about your future plans as you graduate with your master's degree. What are you getting your master's degree in? Well, I guess what I should ask first.
Okay, so I'm getting a Master of Arts in Christian Ministry with a concentration in sports and recreational ministry. And so I have a passion for youth, sports, and missions, and I want to use my degree and my passions together to do something in whether it be youth ministry or directing a missions group or organization, doing Christian camp ministry, coaching possibly, but I don't necessarily have the teaching degrees, and so some type of private school coaching maybe. But right now I've talked with 2 different churches in the Dallas area with youth ministry positions that are open, and so trying to find where God has for me.
Being a student here at ETBU, what are some of the ministry opportunities you've had as a student and been a part of?
The biggest thing is the guys cross country team and just being able to live with them and live life with them. And then we also did a Bible study once a week. And so that was one thing, working at the clothes closet and volunteering hours there here in Marshall. There's also a guys discipleship ministry on campus called Tupos, and so I got to be a part of that for some years. And just living life with a bunch of brothers around here is cool. And so that's the ministry to do.
Well, Landon, thank you for your time on ETBU Extra. It's been a pleasure following you during your career at ETBU, running cross country. And, of course, looking forward to you walking across that stage and getting that master's degree from ETBU. I know everybody will be happy when that happens.
Yes, sir.
Especially you, indeed. All right, still to come on ETBU Extra, we need to talk Tiger basketball. Both Lady Tigers and the Tigers were in action last night against Centenary. Let's find out how they did here in just a moment on ETBU Extra.